Hey guys, welcome back to Pro Sports Talk. My name's Piper along with
Madison Turner.
And Declan Nay.
And today we're going to discuss if LeBron is the best player and what team and what strategy can beat him. Let's hear from Madison.
Well, I do think LeBron James is the best player of all time. One, because he has 3 championships, and Michael Jordan has 6. But LeBron also did it on his own, and Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman, and many more players helping him, while LeBron only had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. And in 2015 finals, they both got hurt. And the Cavs did lose, but LeBron still won in 2016.
All right, Declan?
Well, I mean, LeBron's one of the greats, but there are a lot of other greats out there like Kobe, Kareem, Shaq, Magic, Michael Jordan. I mean, there are a lot of others out there. I mean, I think that LeBron's one of the greats, but I'm going to have to disagree on that.
Well, why do you disagree?
Because, I mean, there are a lot of other greats out there, as I just mentioned, like Magic Johnson.
But how does that have anything to do with LeBron being the greatest?
Well, I don't really think LeBron is the greatest. I
Why?
think because I mean, he didn't make it in 2015, but
Because Kyrie and Kevin Love both got hurt.
yeah.
Well, if I say something, so you're basically saying LeBron is the best player of all time, and are
He
you
also
saying?
won with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh twice.
And what are you saying that if there's any? Are you saying is there any specific player in general that could beat LeBron, and like in what time zone maybe?
Well, LeBron is now a Laker, and one of the Lakers' biggest rival is the Celtics, and
Celtics can't
LeBron
beat the
will be
Lakers.
going up again. LeBron when the Lakers face the Celtics.
So are you saying the Celtics now can beat the Lakers with the Lakers having Lonzo Ball?
Well, I think that the Lakers are going to be one of the super teams.
Okay, I
this
agree
year.
with that. They're going to be one of the super teams.
All right, you got both our opinions. The next topic is who we think is going to win the World Series. I personally think that the Astros are going to go to the World Series again, and I think the Dodgers could win if they have healthy players.
And so, what do you think? Who do you think could win the World Series, or be in the, or maybe make it to the finals?
Well, I think that the Dodgers will make the finals, but one of the teams that, the postseason, not the finals. But one of the teams that'll also make the postseason is also the Red Sox, and they've been on fire lately, so we'll have to see what happens.
So who do you think on the Red Sox is a particularly star player right now?
The new guy, JD Martinez.
Madison?
I mean, I think the Red Sox could make it. I think the Astros also have a fair chance, along with the Cubs. And then but I do think the Dodgers will make it and win.
All right, so is that both of your opinions?
Yeah, and then the last topic is, do we think any team can beat the Warriors?
So let's kick this off straight. So the Warriors have now their 5 starting lineup is all-stars: Boogie Cousins, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry,
Green.
and Draymond Green. So let's hear Madison.
I think the Houston Rockets could beat the Warriors. I do think they need someone else. I think the Lakers also have a fair chance if they acquire an all-star to help LeBron out. But we really have to wait and see on the Lakers. I do think the Celtics will make it and beat the Raptors and make it to the finals. And then if the Warriors go to the finals again, I think the Celtics could beat them and the Warriors won't be champions.
Oh, okay. I like Madison's opinion on how the Lakers are up there and one of the top seeds right now, and also how the Celtics could beat the Raptors. Well, let's hear Declan's side.
Well, I think that one of the teams that the Lakers will be good against is the Warriors will be good against. Well, I think one of the teams is the Lakers also, because I mean, all those young guys in LeBron are good. And LeBron said that he's going to enjoy working with Lonzo Ball.
All right. Is that both of you guys' opinion? Do you have anything else?
I think the Celtics are going to win.
Celtics. Who do you think is going to win?
Lakers.
Lakers. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in to Pro Sports Talks. We'll catch you later. Good night.
Hi everyone, I'm Noah Lakecheck with my partners Luke and Zach. We are here today to talk about two topics. One, who will make it to the World Series, and two, the UCLA basketball organization. We are here right on campus, on the UCLA campus, and we've met a lot of UCLA basketball players that have told us about what they would do this season. Luke, how do you feel that UCLA can compete against other college teams this season?
Well, they did get some new freshmen in who are very good, like Sharif O'Neal, Shaq's son.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of tall players first of
I
all
know.
who have good NBA
Yes.
potential. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Sharif is 6'10" and he's only a freshman, which is really unbelievable. And they can really use him in that paint, to play power forward or either center. We know he's going to get points in the paint. Would you say, I'm going to go over to Zach, would you say UCLA would be a shooting team or more in the paint team?
I think they could be a little both. I mean, they got Jalen Hands, now Sharif. They could be a big dynamic duo, and they could do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, UCLA basketball organization, they've been switching off and back-to-back seeds. Like 1 year they were the 4th seed, 1 year they were 2 seeds. So they're pretty much in the middle usually. How do you think that they would do this year with the new freshmen, Luke?
I think that all the freshmen will probably make it to the NBA. They have amazing players on their team, so I think that they can maybe win it all this year.
And I have a pretty good question for you, Zach. You know, Sharif, his dad, Shaq O'Neal, went to the NBA, played for the Lakers. He was here on campus yesterday. We did ask him what teams would he like to play for. He said maybe either Lakers, Bulls would be nice. What team do you think he could go to?
I think it depends how well he plays for, and it depends.
Absolutely.
I think he could go to the Lakers, because I don't know if he's going to be the first pick, and I think the Lakers organization would really want him, and I think it would mean a lot to him. So I could see him going to the Lakers, or I could see him going to a totally random team that we're not expecting.
Yeah, one more thing here. So LeBron did sign a contract for 4 years with the Lakers, and this is Sharif's freshman. What do you think about Sharif and LeBron playing together?
That would be amazing.
Fire,
They would,
right?
yeah. That would just be the dynamic duo, and they would just. I think that if that were to happen, they would make it. They would first year
Oh, yeah.
that they're
Awesome.
They
I
mean-
think if that happened, though, it would be not that great, because Sharif, LeBron, and Brandon Ingram all play the same position, and Sharif does not want to play on the bench.
and they're all gonna want to take the dunk or
Yeah,
be the star
let's
of the
talk
team.
about the Lakers very quickly here. I have I love this guy who is on the Pelicans now, Julius Randle. You don't need to shoot good to be a good basketball player. He gets points in the paint. Do you think Sharif can get those points in the paint and then shoot those mid-range or free throw jumpers to help him get a lot of points for the Lakers?
I haven't seen him shooting. I know though that he is he's a threat in the paint, and I know that he is just that's really all I know. But
Yeah.
I mean, he might be.
He will be
yeah.
a big threat to the paint with the Lakers. Moving on now to our second topic. We're about to start with the World Series. As the regular season is coming to an end, we're about to get started to the playoffs. I'm really interested in the wild card teams. We'll do playoffs after the wild card, but what do you think about wild card here? Yeah.
For the wild card, I think it will be the Dodgers. I think the Diamondbacks will pull out that division, and I think the Cubs or the Brewers. I don't know who's gonna pull out that one.
Yeah.
It's the Brewers are half game behind the Cubs. It's really tight, so I think one of those teams.
Yeah, and the Cubs' offense has been absolutely amazing, extraordinary, with Javi Baez batting in the second spot and Hayward batting in the power spot third. We did talk about this a lot, Luke. Chris Bryant, I mean, hasn't held a bat in 1 month. How do you think that will affect the Cubs this postseason?
Well, I heard yesterday before the game he was taking ground balls in the infield and working on his fielding skills. But the problem is, like no one said, he hasn't held a bat in a month, and that's hard to do and be amazing in the MLB. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the Cubs could make this postseason. They just got to get used to their rotation. There are at least 2 guys, or a lot of guys in the bullpen that are inconsistent. Kyle Hendricks, Jose Quintana, their records are both above 500, so needs to get better if you're going to enter this postseason. Also, one quick thing, the Cubs are so experienced in the postseason, have been in the postseason in the last 2 years, and they have an amazing 3 years actually, and have been an amazing offensive team. So how do you think they'll put their offense to the postseason?
Well, I think to step it up. They know what it takes. Obviously, they've won the World Series, and I think they would like to repeat that. So I think they'll figure it out, and their offense will step up big time.
And
Yeah.
I want to say something about the whole Chris Bryant situation. The Cubs have been doing above average without Chris Bryant, and he's a star on their team. So
Yeah.
I think that when he will come back, I heard about in the next week or two. So once he comes back, I think that they will be amazing.
One more thing before we wrap the show up. Javi Baez does lead the MLB in RBIs. How will that help them? Javi Baez, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I don't see him as a big home run guy. He's usually the single double guy. He gets singles and doubles, but
RBIs.
Yeah, and RBIs,
Yeah.
but
He does lead the MLB.
But yeah, I mean, he has helped because he usually, when he's always at bat, I feel like there's always runners in scoring position, which helps him a lot.
Absolutely. Well, the Cubs, the Lakers, that's what we really talked about. Thank you so much for joining in with my partners, Zach and Luke, and myself, Noah Laytrek. We hope to see you soon.
Hi, it's Duke Araputo here with
Lawson Holland
and
Andrew Holland.
today we're here to talk about the best player in NBA history. I, for one, think that it is Kobe Bryant. Lawson, who do you think it is?
I think it is LeBron James.
Andrew?
Curry.
Okay, well, we're going to be telling you our strongest arguments for who the best player in NBA history is. I think it's Kobe Bryant because of how much he's helped the Lakers organization and how many championships he's brought them. Also, he has a lot of points in his career, and I think he's just hard to be better than. He's amazing. Lawson?
I think it is LeBron James because he can handle the ball, he can shoot the ball, and he is a nasty dunker. And he carried the Cavaliers, he carried every team he's been on, and he's just an all-around great player.
But Kobe Bryant could do everything anywhere on the court. He could shoot threes. He could dunk at one point. He could do insane layups. He was just amazing. How do you think LeBron James is better than him?
Well, Kobe Bryant had more support. He had Shaquille O'Neal at one point. He had all these other great players, and he had help. LeBron James, not really. He's had Kyrie Irving. They don't really like each other. And then last year, he carried them to another championship, averaging like 30, 40 points a game, which is amazing.
But Kobe seemed to do it all himself. I mean, Kyrie Irving, one of the star players in the NBA when he was on LeBron James' team. I really feel like Kobe Bryant is better just because he was able to execute way more and take those one-on-one situations and score some points.
Yeah, that's true. Kobe Bryant was a great player, but I just still disagree because LeBron he's great and he can do everything, and he doesn't need help or anything. He carries the team all the way. He scores like half the points. It's just amazing. And when you need him, he's there. He's very clutch.
Yeah, so, I mean, LeBron and Kobe, they're both very good. But, Andrew, why do you think that
Because
Michael Jordan's so good?
Okay, Michael Jordan then. No, he said Steph Curry.
Oh, Steph Curry. Sorry.
He keeps on winning. He keeps on helping their team, winning the championship every single year. He's getting a lot of rings. I think he's a really good player.
But Kobe did all of that, so why is Curry better than Kobe?
Steph Curry can do is shoot a three. He actually, Kevin Durant was carrying Curry. Kevin Durant was better than Curry. Had more points, more rebounds, more assists, all of that.
So, yeah, why is Curry better than Kobe and LeBron?
I don't know.
You don't know?
They're both better than Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant's better than Curry.
Well, let's go on to our next topic, which is who is the best player in NFL history. I think that the best player in NFL history has to be Peyton Manning because of like how much he helped all of his teams, Indianapolis, the Broncos. He will go down as one of the greatest of all time. And the way that his family, they're so good. So he just learned from greats like Archie Manning, and he helped his younger brother Eli Manning. So I feel like that's just a great family, and I feel like Peyton Manning is the best in that family. So I feel like Peyton Manning is the best player in NFL history. Lawson, who do you think it is?
I actually think it is, wait a second, I forgot. Oh, I think it is Aaron Rodgers. I think he will actually go down as one of the best players ever because he's not as big as everyone. He can move around. He can make perfect throws. He can make all these plays. And I mean, he's not a truck. He's not like Cam Newton, but Cam Newton is like all for star power
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is pretty good. He did play at one point with Brett Favre on his team, so he learned a lot from him. But I mean, there's some other great players. So Andrew, who do you think was the best?
Aaron Rodgers.
You think Aaron Rodgers too? Why do you think Aaron Rodgers?
I think because he is one of the best players on the Yankees. He's really good at outfield. I don't know. What?
So Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback for Green Bay.
You're thinking of Aaron Judge.
Oh, I'm thinking of Aaron Judge.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the NFL.
Oh.
No. Okay,
To our
so
next topic.
on to our next topic. Should college football players be paid? Lawson?
I think so because they are working out daily, and football's not easy work. They're working out, and yes, they have a scholarship for a great opportunity to learn and have a better life in the future. But don't they want some extra cash on the side to maybe buy some clothes, get something nice for their girlfriend? You never know because like their life can't just revolve around football and school. Like they have to have some fun with their friends and stuff, buy themselves meals, all that stuff.
And do you think it should just be like the main sports like football and basketball, or should it also be women's college sports and also all the sports like lacrosse and other sports?
I think it should be the main three sports, baseball, basketball, and football, because these players get these colleges millions and millions of dollars, buy tickets, because people come here, they buy tickets and watch them play. And they're getting them millions and millions, and they should have a tiny paycheck. And unlike women's basketball or something, they're only making like $100,000.
Even in the professional league, they're not
Yeah.
making that much money.
Yeah.
But I really think, I don't think that they should be paid because they're still college students, and I feel like it's good for them to learn how to be part of a team before they go professional. But there's so many opinions and ways that you could go about this. So for
But
more on
dude-
that, I'm going to send it over to Andrew Holland. What do you think? Should college football players be paid?
Duke, I disagree with you.
I
I
think-
have something to say.
Yeah. What?
Well,
Okay. So we're going to wrap it up. Sorry about all those things that happened, but thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye.
goodbye.
Well, over a year ago, Michael Jordan stated at his camp that he thought 5 is more than 3, so Kobe was better than LeBron. It's been a year since that statement, but some fans are still arguing its case. Do you agree?
I think that Michael Jordan is the best player ever. I think that his ability, like he was so clutch that he was able to make last-second shots. He was also able to bang around. There's a time where with the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys, they tried to they would try to hurt Michael Jordan and when they were playing against him, but Michael Jordan still stood up, made threes, and made points.
Well, first off, he wasn't making threes back then, and also the Pistons shut him down for 2 straight years to win the finals, or to go to the finals. I mean, so I'm sorry, but that's just that statement that he was making it through the Pistons is just completely.
I think that he was able to adapt after those 2 seasons and was able to fight through the Pistons trying to hurt him and get him injured.
I mean, I don't know if it was adapt. I just think he just became a better player. I mean, I feel like after those 2 years, he started really
But he
grinding.
did kind of light up the Pistons. He was the only player in the team actually lighting them up for some of those series. The first series he kind of got destroyed, but like he was averaging 30 points per game, 7 assists, 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
Who do you
Pretty
think the
efficient
best
shooting.
player ever is?
I say no Kobe, no LeBron, no MJ, no Wilt. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player in NBA history. He is the greatest scorer, one of the greatest rebounders. I believe as many or one less ring than MJ. So if you're going off of rings, if you're going off
He
of
had the same,
points,
yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wins every statement you're going off of. Kareem is the best player of all time, without a doubt.
The problem is, though, that Michael Jordan was able to be so clutch, and it was harder to play against those teams. The teams that Michael Jordan played against, every team was good. Portland Trailblazers, Clyde Drexler, the Rockets.
So you're saying
They had
the
the
Celtics teams with Bird and McHale and all those other great players weren't hard teams to beat? Because
No,
I can recall Michael Jordan not being able to beat those teams in his first years. So I think the competition, don't get me wrong, at the end of MJ's career, the competition picked up,
and he was still able to win those rings at the end of his career.
Because-
Yes, he had help with
because he
Scottie
had 2
Pippen
Hall of Famers.
and Dennis Rodman, but you need help.
did-
It's not one guy that wins a ring. It's multiple guys. It's a team. And Michael Jordan was the star of that team.
You're talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's
Kareem was the
champions.
star of that Lakers team, though. Kareem, even though people nowadays are saying, oh, it was all Magic Johnson, No, Kareem was the best player on that Lakers team.
No.
He was the best player on that Bucks team when they had the Big O. And he was the greatest player of all time.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, just quickly wrapping it up, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if you're going to say that he was the greatest player on all the teams he played on that won championships, the last 2, that is not true at all because he had 10 points per game on one team and 13 points per game on the other team. I mean, he did make some pretty big shots, but whatever. We'll be back after us, whatever. So, who do you think will make the finals this year?
It will be the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors. Warriors-Raptors.
I agree with the Warriors, but I believe that the Boston Celtics are going to be able to make it. I mean, you might say that the combination of Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard is going to be devastating, but then I also think that Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, that's going to be a phenomenal backcourt.
When it gets down clutch, those Celtics players, they don't have as much experience as Lowry does, as Kawhi does. Kawhi played for the best Spurs teams that we've seen out of that Spurs era.
For all I know, Kawhi's just going to get another fight with their coach. I mean, how do you stop that from happening?
I don't even know who their coach is yet, but whoever it is, this Raptors team is good enough to get to the finals. I think the only thing that was stopping them was LeBron.
Well, we got to wrap it up here. That's our show. I'm with
Xavier Bollinger.
And Tyler Shaver.
and me.
Yes, you.
Hey guys, we're here to talk about how Corey Seager's injury might affect the Dodgers' run for the championship. So Luke, what do you think?
I think it won't affect their run to the championship because
they already have good infielders, and picking up Machado, now they don't even need Seager to play for them. So they can still go in the playoffs and maybe even win the World Series without Seager because they have Machado.
Yeah, I agree with you, Luke. Manny is a great replacement for Corey Seager. One of the best players that I think Dave Roberts could have got for the Dodgers team to replace Corey Seager. And Zach, what do you think?
Well, yes, it for sure will affect them because even though Manny Machado is a great player, I agree with you on that one. Corey Seager was part of the team, and they had great chemistry with him. Now they're just switching to a new player right in the middle of the season because he's injured. It's going to affect the chemistry with the team. And also Dozier, that's a great pickup. Their chemistry will be good. So, yes, I do think it'll affect them.
But Machado, he's a veteran. Seager's in like his second year, so Machado has more experience. And I think since they're playing with like Turner's a veteran, and they've got some veterans on the team, like Kershaw, that will help them. That pickup will help them because he is a veteran.
Well, even though Machado's a veteran, it affects the chemistry because no one on the Dodgers has ever played with Machado before, but they have played with Seager for the last 1.5 years.
Yeah, I know, but Corey Seager has. I agree with Luke on Manny being a veteran. I still think that they can create chemistry before the playoffs.
Yes, I agree with you on that one, but you have to win the regular season to make it to the playoffs, so they have to develop some before time runs out and win the division if they can.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic, which is who do we think the best NBA player in history is? Alright, so Matthew, we'll start with you.
I gotta go with LeBron. I don't think it's about rings. I think it's about how good of a team sport you are. What do you think about this, Zach?
Well, I have to agree with you. I think LeBron is great. I think he's the best player in the NBA. All the people back in the day were great. Bill Russell had 11 rings, but back then the playoffs were only 2 rounds. If you won the first round, you would make it to the championship. Now you've got to win the first 3 rounds to make it in. Luke, what do you think?
I think Michael Jordan is the best player in NBA history because even though it is about winning rings sometimes, but he still played better than than LeBron James. It might be that LeBron hasn't played as long as Michael Jordan, but I still think Michael Jordan is the best player because he won a game with the flu. He had like a 50-point game with the flu. So nobody can do something that's better than have a 50-point game with the flu.
Well, I don't think that has to do with anything that we have been talking about. But okay, that's true. I don't think LeBron would have a 50-point game with the flu. But as you see, LeBron has carried his team with. There's no All-Stars on that team, except Kevin Love, who was an All-Star before. But he carried that whole team all the way to the championship and almost won Game 1 versus the Super Team Warriors.
Even if LeBron isn't the best right now, I believe he will be by the end of his career.
Yeah, I think if he takes the Lakers to at least one chip with his season with the Lakers, he'll be best in the world by far. Luke, what do you think?
I still think it's going to be Michael Jordan. Even though the Bulls had the Golden State Warriors super team back then, still every player counts. Every play that one player makes counts. So I think everything that LeBron did that Michael Jordan did in his career will add up and make him the best player because he won 6 rings and never
But he
lost
did had
in
2
the
Hall of
finals.
Famers.
Yeah, that is true. He did have Rodman, but still, for some of his years, LeBron had Kyrie, and Kyrie made the game-winning shot against the Warriors in Game 7.
But that doesn't matter if let's say LeBron's on the Lakers now. If Kuzma makes a game-winning point and he only has 3 points the whole game, so you're saying he's the MVP of the game just because he had 3 points?
I'm not saying that, but Rodman was more of a guy who was more of a defensive player, and well, not actually that. Michael Jordan was he could shoot threes, he could drive to the hoop, he could play defense, he could guard some of the best players. And back then, there were some of the best players in the history that Michael Jordan played and defeated.
Okay, well, that will about wrap it up for our show. I'm Carter Williamson along with Luke, Matthew, and Zach, and that's it. Goodbye.
Hello, folks. I'm Archie Windsor with my co-partners,
Jack Waterstone.
And Zach Bennett.
and this is Play-by-Play Sports Camp Radio, and here is our first topic. Who do you guys think is the greatest player of all time in basketball? Starting with you, Jack.
Well, for me, it's pretty obvious. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has won so many championships, and sure, a lot of people are saying he got help, but he did a lot of the heavy lifting. It was not just all those guys. He did a lot of this heavy lifting. He might have not made all the game-winning shots, but he did pretty much, I would say, most of it to help them get to where they are now and be one of the greatest franchises ever. I mean, one of the greatest teams ever.
How about you, Zach?
I think that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. You could argue about Michael Jordan, but if they didn't have Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman, do you think they would have won a championship?
Yes, I do.
No. And LeBron James, if with the Cavs made it to the NBA Finals without Kyrie Irving, and they didn't have Kevin Love for the first game, which they came closest in last year's finals. And so I think LeBron James is the greatest player of all time.
But LeBron James doesn't have that many championships. He only has 3. Well, Michael Jordan has so many championships with his team.
LeBron James was on 2 different teams that he won championships with, and he made it to the finals 8 straight years with 2 different teams. I think that's saying something.
Well, Michael Jordan is just Michael Jordan. He can dunk. He can do about everything. He is just amazing to watch.
You think that Michael Jordan's good at that? LeBron, also a great dunker, and he could shoot the 3 ball. LeBron is really entertaining to watch with all his crazy dunks.
Well, Michael Jordan, just even though he had some help along the way, he still did most of the heavy lifting. As I said, you can't say anything bad about Michael Jordan.
Oh, guys, it's Bill Russell. 11 championships, really. But on to our next topic. What is the greatest franchise in sports history? Every single sport. Who do you think it is, Jack?
I think it is the New York Yankees. They have the most championships in basketball, and I think baseball and the most championships, I think, maybe of all time out of all sports franchise history. And they have Aaron Judge in their all time. They have Derek Jeter in the all time, and they even have one of the greatest of all time, Babe Ruth, in their all time team.
How about you, Zach?
I think that the Los Angeles Lakers are the best franchise. Sure, they don't have as much championships as the Boston Celtics, but more are sure to come. Just getting LeBron James, and they signed a bunch of one-year deals this year, so next year they have money to sign another all-star like Kawhi Leonard.
Well, the thing is, the Los Angeles Lakers, you can think about their past, but you also have to think about not way past in the Magic Johnson, all those guys era. You also have to think about 2016. They were terrible. They were trash. They were collecting wins. They were barely collecting wins. The Yankees have barely ever had that in their franchise. They have always been one of the top teams.
The Los Angeles Lakers, yes, they weren't the best in 2016, but that's because they were building around young stars that were going to develop and be all-stars someday.
But the thing is, the New York Yankees have never had to do that because they've just always had these all-stars that can lead them to it. They don't have to wait and have a few trash years. You can, because that just says to me that they are not the best of all time in sports franchise history.
How many championships do the New York Yankees have?
I think they have about 27.
Now that's a lot of championships. And in basketball, the Lakers have 16. But baseball's been going on longer than basketball. So I think that it was easier for the New York Yankees.
It was definitely not easier for the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees had to go up against some of the greatest players of all time, like Barry Bonds. They've had to go up against, even though he used steroids, that doesn't make him any less. It probably makes him even more of a better hitter. They've had to go up against their team has had to go up against the Boston Red Sox of the when they were trying to get a championship.
Guys, it's the Boston Celtics, but that's it, and that wraps it up. Goodbye.
Hi, I'm live. I'm Max Sager, and I'm here with my partners,
Dominic Malenzi
and
Hugo Traverso.
And today we have two topics to talk about. The first one is going to be who is the greatest sports player of all time? Not one particular sport, but all sports. Dominic, who do you think is the greatest player of all time in all sports?
Well, that's very tough. But I'd probably go Babe Ruth and the Yankees. What about you?
Well, I think that the Ted Williams did pretty good, but yes, Babe Ruth was very good. But you have to look at the football point of view and the basketball point of view, and maybe the soccer point of view, because there was not a lot of good players in soccer. We have Lionel Messi, we have Cristiano Ronaldo. Back then we had Ronaldo, but Ronaldo, the Brazilian player. And the soccer team has always had good players like Beckham and Landon Donovan and other awesome players. What do you think? Who do you think's the best player?
Well, I think the best player of all time is definitely someone in the football era, and I think it's Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady is the best player of all time. 100%. Mostly because Tom Brady has brought the Patriots to 7, 4, whatever. How many amount of Super Bowls? 5 Super Bowls.
Well, 7 Super Bowls.
7 Super Bowls, and he's won 5. And the Patriots have been to 10 in their entire time. And I really think the Patriots and Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time and the best player of all time because he could do it with any wide receiver. The Patriots lost wide receivers, and I still have no doubt that Brady is going to find a way to get this team back to at least the conference finals in the Eastern Division.
In the AFC, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I do think that Brady is a possible contender for this because he came in. He was the 4th backup quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines, and then he came in, and Drew Bledsoe was playing for the Patriots, and Drew Bledsoe got hurt, and then they gave Tom Brady the starting job, and he took them to the Super Bowl not only once, but 3 times in the course of 4 years. And then he got started up back from the 2007 to 2018. He's been on fire.
Yeah, and he's really, really old too. And never before have we seen a player who's able to perform this greatly at an age this high. And that's why I think Tom Brady is the greatest player of all time. So let's move on to our second topic, who do we think the greatest franchise is of all time?
Dominic, let's start with you.
Well, I'd have to go again with the Yankees with Babe Ruth and some of their all-time greats. But yeah, the Yankees have been a very, very good baseball team.
Yeah, the Yankees have won 27 championships, which is 17 more than any other team, which is the Cardinals. So the Yankees have certainly been a great franchise. But I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics as the best franchise of all time, just because in the NBA, I think players move around kind of more than they do in the MLB, and they're better players. So I think the Boston Celtics are the greatest franchise of all time. They had to go up against the Lakers in 2010 and 2008. They had to go up against the 80s Showtime Lakers. And they won all those championships with Bill Russell. And that's who I think is the greatest franchise of all time.
Well, this is very arguably for the Yankees. The Yankees are hard to argue with, but they are one great team. But you have to look at if you look at, as Max said, that you have to look at the point of the football and basketball point of view, and I'm looking at the soccer point of view to be, I think, the best franchise. At least I don't know if a country's considered a franchise, but I think the best country/franchise is Brazil with soccer. They've really been productive and have won a lot of World Cup finals.
I kind of disagree with you there. Well, Argentina is a great team, but did Brazil make the finals this year?
No, they didn't. The
No,
French
they didn't.
Yeah,
France
but the one thing
did.
he's saying is he's not saying it this year, he's saying all time. And how many times has the Brazilian made the finals?
Like,
too many to count, yeah.
No, they've won
Good point,
been 11
but
times.
Brazil right now is not that good. So I think we could see some of the younger soccer teams maybe making their point in winning a World Cup.
Yeah, that's true. So that's going to wrap it up here, guys. I'm Max Sanger here with my partners,
Hugo Traverso
and
Dominic Malunzi,
signing off.
Hi, I'm Carl Lawrence along with my partners,
Max Stromer,
and Drew Jose Nixon.
So we're going to talk about what's latest on Urban Meyer and World Series predictions. Okay, what's your first World Series prediction, Max?
Well, I definitely think these Red Sox are great great contenders. But these Yankees, I'm worried for them with Aaron Judge being injured, Sonny Gray not doing well, like really bad, and they don't really have a good bullpen.
The Yankees were always bad, and they do have a good bullpen. See, those were two wrong things. It's not something new that the Yankees are struggling. They're always struggling. Like, they have the biggest cap, yet they still can't win their division. And also, their bullpen is one of the best in the league. They're just not utilizing it very well.
Moving on forward, what do you think? What do you think these Yankees are going to do offseason trade-wise? Do you think they're going to let Giancarlo go, or
They're not letting Giancarlo go. They're probably going to try to clear some other cap space to sign a big free agent. But for my World Series predictions, I have the Houston Astros because their stars are injured. They're going to be a wild card, I think. The A's will pass them because their stars are injured. But when their stars come back, they'll be fresher than the rest of the league, so they'll be able to win the American League. And then in the National League, I have the Brewers because the Brewers, I think, did the best job at the deadline of acquiring players, and they have the best record of any team. Though I think they will finish with the best record of any team in the National League, so I think they'll have an easy path to the World Series.
Yeah, but with this National League, I'm not going for the Brewers. I'm going with the Diamondbacks. These Diamondbacks have definitely shown that they can win, sort of with the prime team with most of their players reaching their prime. Paul Goldschmidt, one of the best first basemen to ever play the game of baseball. They have a great pitching staff with Zach Greinke and they have a great bullpen. They have a great outfield. So I definitely think these Diamondbacks can make a good choice for this World Series.
Do you disagree?
I do. I think they will win the division, but I don't think they're going to be able to get past the Brewers. I mean, if you really match it up, there's nowhere where the Diamondbacks have that good of an advantage. And there are places where the Brewers do, like the bullpen, for example. The Brewers, in my opinion, have the second best closer in the MLB behind the Dodgers, which is sad to say as a Giants fan, but it's true. So I really can't see the Diamondbacks winning a series against the Brewers, especially if the Brewers have home field advantage.
Okay, now on the Urban Meyer situation, what's your latest take?
Well, I definitely think that he has not made himself he hasn't done anything good for him in this situation. Obviously, lying about what I think he was lying about the 2015 situation, but I just don't think that he is gonna make it through. I mean, I don't think he's gonna continue with get his job. I don't think that he's gonna do well, and it's not looking good for Urban Meyer.
Are you done talking yet? Thank you. So, Urban Meyer is keeping his job because Ohio State already has a history of not being very good with their coaches and supervising them. So, I don't think this will bother Ohio State, who's going to make the final decision on what happens with Urban Meyer. And because of that, I think he will retain his job, especially considering how good of a coach he is. The problem was the fact that he's being accused of these allegations, but I don't think that that's going to be a priority for Ohio State. I think winning's
This is a legal matter, not if he's the best coach in the league or not in the NCAA.
That's what I'm saying, though, because it's not about, they don't care about the legal matter. They've done bad things before. They just want to win games, because guess what makes Ohio State the most money? Having people come to more football games. They're going to have more come to more football games if it's a random coach that nobody's ever heard of, or if it's Urban Meyer, one of the most prestigious coaches in college football.
But they don't have that good of a lineup coming into this season.
It doesn't matter. They have Urban Meyer. And if you're going to say, no. This isn't about how good their lineup is. This is about which coach they're going to have. So no matter what, their lineup is going to be trash. Like, do you want Urban Meyer or this no-name douchebag that we've never heard of?
I don't think that Urban Meyer deserves this. I mean, he has not proved himself. He has not made himself wanting to win. He practically has been admitting himself.
Okay, that's it for me, Carl Lawrence, and my partners,
Max Stromer
and Drew Jose Nixon.
I'm Carl Lawrence, signing off.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charles Wyrick at Campers Blastoffs with my partners,
Joshua Seidelman
and Rashad Bagaiwala.
Today, we're going to be talking about the best NBA player of all time. What do you guys think?
I think it's LeBron James. He's proven to be great. He's led two of the worst teams in the NBA and led them both to the finals, and then both teams have won it. And he's won 3. Even though Michael Jordan's won 6, he had a lot more help, and I think LeBron by himself has done a lot more than Michael Jordan did.
Okay, I think it's Michael Jordan, and going against your point of that Michael Jordan has way more help, if you think about it, Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. LeBron James had Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade on one team, and he had Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving on another team. And Kyrie Irving, I think, is sort of like Scottie Pippen, but the real thing is Kevin Love leads the league in rebounds. Dennis Rodman led the league in rebounds. So that's very similar there. You can kind of match up Kyrie with Scottie Pippen, and Chris Bosh was really good in his time, just like Dennis Rodman was, and Dwayne Wade is kind of like Scottie Pippen.
But LeBron has led teams that were pretty much trash besides his extra two players, where besides those top three in the Bulls, they still had a nice bench that could still play, and that's how they won 6 titles. And LeBron's done it for 2 different teams, and Michael Jordan was with the same team for all those years, and he won 6 with them, and LeBron split them up, but he's only had half.
But you know why LeBron went to to the Heat? Because he wanted to win some more rings. He himself thought that he couldn't lead the Cavaliers to championships before they got Kyrie and Kevin Love. So then when he went back to Cleveland, Cleveland wanted to keep him, so they got new guys for him. So, and you see that LeBron doesn't want to be the playmaker himself. He wants somebody to pass him the ball so that he can do a lot of scoring. He doesn't want to take the ball up. Well, he takes the ball up, but he doesn't want to be creating all the plays.
I'm on Josh's side.
Gotta be the moderator.
I know.
So I just think LeBron has been a much better player, and I think he's gonna do even more with now that he's with the Lakers, and I think he's gonna start getting some more help, and I think he'll add up on the number of titles, and that will lead him to be the greatest of all time.
If he beats the Warriors with the Lakers this year or next year, then maybe he'll be better. But than MJ. But if the NBA ended right now, Michael Jordan would be better.
I can see your point there.
Okay, let's move on to the best sports franchise of all time. No other sports, just franchise.
I think it's quite easily the Yankees. They're one of the oldest franchises in all of sports. They've won over 20 World Series titles. They've won so many things. They've had so many great players, and they never seem to stop. You've always had Babe Ruth. You've had Mickey Mantle. You have Derek Jeter. You've had A-Rod. Now you have Aaron Judge. You have guys going over there like Sonny Gray, CC Sabathia. You had pitchers back then as well, and it just never stops. So I think they're the greatest team of all time. It's just like they never stop being good.
Okay, I can see your point there, but I'm going to go on the basketball point of view. I'm going to go with the Celtics. Because if you think about it, they have to go up against Showtime Lakers. They have to go up against some really great Laker teams in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even in the 2000s with Kobe when they won their last championship in 2008. 2010. But still, I think the Boston Celtics, the NBA started in the 60s, but baseball started back in the 1800s. So the Yankees have been around for 60 more years. And they've won 10 more championships. I think if we go 60 years into the future and the Yankees aren't playing and the Celtics are, I think they win more than 10 championships.
But you also got to remember that 11 of the titles, such as the ones that Bill Russell won with them, all you had to do was win your first playoff series, and then you were in the finals. And it was basically always either the Lakers or them winning. So I feel like you have to go back and forth between the two. And then the Celtics have won less. It was so much easier for them to win them, even though the NBA started later.
You think the Celtics had an easier path to the finals than the Yankees did?
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying? Okay, I see what you're saying, but still, because the Yankees went up against some teams like the Red Sox, but they were super good. They had their teams in the 60s, they had Murderers Row and some other teams like that. So, yeah, I think they had really overpowered teams. Celtics did it with a little bit less, so I think it's very close, but I think that I have the Celtics. In my book, I think the Celtics are a tiny bit better.
I just think that the Celtics, they always had when they were good. Larry Bird, they had Robert Parrish, Bill Russell. It's just I feel it's pretty even, but since the Yankees have more championships, I think they're the better team.
Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Charles Wyrick.
Joshua Saddleman.
And I'm Rashad Vaghewala.
Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Tyler Fertel, and welcome to Camper Blastoff. I'm here with
Hudson Hamer and Matthew Michaels.
Our first topic will be, did LeBron make the right choice to coming to LA? Hudson?
No, he didn't. LeBron James should have went to the 76ers. And I will give you a reason why. The Lakers don't have any talent right now. It's only the young guys, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma. If he went to the Sixers, they would be young and they would be good. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and an uprising star, Markelle Fultz. I feel like that team, especially because they're in the East, so it would be a lot easier for them to win championships if that's what LeBron's looking for. So.
Matthew, do you disagree?
Well, yeah, of course, but I disagree for a different reason. He doesn't want to be in the East. The only team he has to beat in the West are the Warriors. He has to beat the new and improved Toronto Raptors, the new and improved with Gordon Hayward, the Celtics, and also he bought 2 houses in LA. His kids live in LA. Everything that he ever wanted was in LA, and he has everything going for him. He has Magic Johnson, who's great GM and is going to keep on improving, getting more players. They have more max deals next season. LeBron has Kyle Kuzma to choose from, who is an amazing uprising star. Brandon Ingram, an amazing uprising star. Lonzo Ball, a great assist maker.
Would you rather have Ben Simmons or Brandon Ingram?
That I'm not saying, but they don't have they don't.
Would you rather have Joel Embiid or Kyle Kuzma? It's which young players would you rather have, and I'd rather have the 76ers young players.
But the Lakers, I'm going to chime in on this. The Lakers I personally think, have more uprising stars. Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball.
Josh Hart is
they have more
Summer
volume.
League MVP.
Brandon,
they have more volume, but the 76ers have better players.
If LeBron wanted to win a title like this season, I think he probably should have went to the 76ers. But if he wants to win like the next 3 or 4 years,
signed a 4-year deal. He's gonna.
That's also not smart by LeBron.
He signed a 4-year deal. He wants to make a life in LA.
He has no mobility. That's okay.
Okay. Those are
both.
both
He can opt out of his contract.
You're 3, like, yeah. Okay.
Those are both very good points. But let's go on to the next topic. Who is going to win the MVP season? Can LeBron do it in LA?
I'm saying LeBron's gonna do it. LeBron is one of my favorite players, and he will definitely get it. He has really his only competition is Anthony Davis, who is really good, but he is on a under the radar team. Doesn't have really any.
Exactly. That's why Anthony Davis is gonna win, because he is on an under radar team. He has nobody else. He has to carry the load. LeBron James has all these young players like Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. And I just think Anthony Davis, he has to carry the load, and him and Julius Randle will work really well together. But what you
former Lakers.
But that's what LeBron did. That's what LeBron did last year and didn't get MVP. He had to carry the load, and he did an amazing season, and he didn't get MVP.
To do that again this year. So I
he doesn't have to do that. He at least has 2 players to help him, and Lonzo Ball will help him get there. He needs to get another MVP since 2013. Last year he was on not an under the radar team, but a team that didn't have anyone, and that's what Anthony Davis is on right now, and he's not gonna win it.
Personally, Anthony Davis is a 6'11", rebounding freak, basketball freak, and assist freak. I just don't.
Okay. I want to go like this. LeBron, one of the greatest of all times, if not the greatest of all time.
He's 34 years old.
He's getting better as he gets older.
That's so
okay,
close.
I'm gonna chime in this. LeBron should probably win the MVP every year, but the thing is, it wouldn't be fun for the MVP
it's been a
award.
5-year
It's
draft.
a professional.
I mean, he should win the MVP. He almost averages a triple-double every year. He's incredible. I mean, he's just so good that I think maybe he should win the MVP every year. They just don't want to give it to him every year. Okay, so let's go to our third and last topic. Okay, so we're going to stay in the NBA, and we're going to go to the Lakers starting lineup. There are so many different Lakers starting lineups. I'm interested.
Okay, I'll go first. I feel like at point guard we got Lonzo Ball. At shooting guard we got Josh Hart. At small forward we got Brandon Ingram. At small forward we got LeBron. At power forward we got Kyle Kuzma. And at center the Cavs. I mean, at power forward we're gonna do Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma is gonna come off the bench, 6-man. And JaVale McGee is going to be the center, because right now the Lakers only have JaVale McGee as their center, and that's when Kyle Kuzma is a big man for the Lakers. He has to be their center power forward dude, reliable, and with LeBron at small forward, that just changes everything. Lonzo Ball handing him the ball.
Hudson?
It's just...
Let me tell you something. Rookies in the NBA, Lonzo Ball wasn't the best season last year. The starting lineup is Rajon Rondo, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, and JaVale McGee. I'll give you 2 reasons why. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a better shooter than Brandon Ingram. Kyle Kuzma is a better shooter than, who did you say your shooting guard was?
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. I believe that Kyle Kuzma is a better shooter than Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. I mean, Josh Hart did win Summer League MVP, but that was just a bunch of nobodies.
I
know, it might have been a bunch of nobodies, but it was...
If LeBron James is in the starting lineup, he needs the ball more, and if you put shooters around him who don't need the ball, that I feel like that's gonna help him a lot.
Remember, the Lakers they can change their lineup every day. I mean, LeBron is gonna be in the lineup every day for the starting lineup, but they could change it up. That's all for Camper Showdown, Camper Showdown. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to Campus Blastoff, where I'm here with Timmy and Matthew, who will probably be doing a lot of arguing today. So, first topic, we have the Dodgers. Will they win a playoff round? Timmy?
No, they just have too much competition in the NL. With the East, NL East, whoever comes out of that's going to be either the Phillies or the Braves. And then you got the Central Cubs and the Brewers, I guess. The wild card, are we considering the wild card around? Because they might be able to win the wild card, but I don't think they're going to win their division just because the Diamondbacks are so good, and I don't think they'll be able to win anything past the wild card.
Well, I totally disagree because you obviously have a team that's been going to the playoffs for I don't know how long, but it's been a long time in a row. And you have the Diamondbacks that barely even made the wild card. They had to get a clutch triple off of a pitcher. And we definitely deserve it. Like we got good players during the deadline with Machado and Dozier. We need to work on our pitching, but our offense it could be really good, and then you just have someone just to screw us over again. That's not going to happen.
It doesn't matter who deserves what. What matters is who's the better team, and that's the Diamondbacks.
But how are they the better team?
They got more hitting and better pitching.
How do they have better hitting?
Because they just scored 6 runs off the Phillies yesterday.
That's one game. Remember when they beat the Brewers 21-5?
Everyone has games like that.
Has the Diamondbacks had a game yet?
I don't know. I don't follow the Diamondbacks every game. I don't watch every game.
All right. Well, I think they're really better. I mean,
look at all the Diamondbacks.
Who you think the Diamondbacks are really better? You think the Diamondbacks are really better or the Dodgers?
The
Dodgers by a lot.
Diamondbacks are better. Well, then why are the Diamondbacks leading the division?
Because they get lucky.
It doesn't. Okay, so you get lucky. It doesn't matter in the playoffs. The better team, and the better team is Arizona. They got Zach Greinke.
Okay.
You agreeing with him?
No, I don't.
All right. So you have a point to prove. Do you have a point to prove?
I already did.
Do you have anything else to say?
Diamondbacks are the better team.
Are you gonna argue with that? All right. So we're going to get on to the next topic, which is NFL. We're gonna get to the Rams. If they get to the playoffs, what will they do? The LA Rams.
Matthew, you want to start?
Yeah, Matthew, you can start.
Well, I think since they have they have decent defense with the defensive tackles, and then they have Todd Gurley, which everyone knows how good he is. But yeah, I think they can go far. Definitely beat the 49ers. But if not, then they'll definitely make the wild card.
I feel like the tension is first of all, I think at most they'll make the wild card. I think they're not getting past Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then it's a tough road from the wild card. But if they win if they get into the wild card, I feel like they had a good year last year. They were a good football team last year, but I feel like the attention is more not on winning as much, but signing big players and Dominican Sue. Todd Gurley's inconsistent, so I just feel like.
Wait, was it they signed someone from Seattle? Was it Richard Sherman that they signed?
I don't think so.
It was someone from Seattle. I can't remember though. Anyway, do you have anything else to say about this topic?
Well, I just think the Rams could go far, but I think the 49ers are pretty good, so I think it's kind of an even match right there.
I think the 49ers will win the division, and we'll see. Maybe they'll meet up in the
Do you
playoffs.
see the Seahawks coming out of the division?
No.
All right, I personally agree. I think the 49ers will do good. I'm not sure if the Rams. I think it'll be between the Rams and the Seahawks to get to the playoffs. If the Rams do make the playoffs, I don't think the Rams will do that much. All right.
So on to,
On to our
next.
third topic.
So who is the better LA soccer team? Who do you think?
LAFC. Well, right now LAFC.
I think it's the Galaxy. LAFC's having trouble closing. They were up 3-0 against the Galaxy in the second half, and they lost 4-3. And then they were up 2-0 in the 80th.
That was like a year ago.
It was in April. It was in this season. And then they were up 2-0 at home in the 80th minute, and they tied. You can't win.
Yeah, all right. LAFC are on top right now. LA Galaxy are not doing so good. Ibrahimovic has been getting in trouble because he missed the All-Star game. Giovanni Dos Santos has not been playing good. We saw them against Orlando. They made a comeback, but like LA Galaxy in the first half of every game, they just go out like, let's just play some soccer. They go 3-0 down. Oh no, we need to actually score some goals. 4-3. So I think LAFC. He thinks LA Galaxy. So let's wrap it up. So that has been Campus Blastoff with
Timmy Neiman
and Matthew Chavez.
See you later.
Hi, I'm Beckett Simpson, and this is ESPN. I'm here with
Jai Chandrasekhar.
And today we're going to be talking about the NBA.
Okay. So,
who's going to win the title this year?
Well, me personally, I think it's going to be the Warriors. Currently, they are unstoppable. I don't think, sometime their reign is going to end, but right now, they have a really good thing going. They have a lot of a lot of talent on their team. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala. They have a lot of good players on their team. What do you think, Beckett?
I think personally it's going to be the Celtics because a lot of young talent and people like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, he's sort of young, Kyrie Irving, he's pretty young, and Kyle Olynyk sadly got traded, but Al Horford, who's an amazing veteran, who's doing just as good as he was in his first season. So,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're going to make it.
Look, here's the thing with young talent. A lot of young people in the NBA, they don't have experience, so that they don't really know how to compete. I mean, Kyrie Irving, he is a pretty good player, and he has some experience playing with LeBron and all those veterans. But the Celtics are, I agree with you, they're going to be the beast of the East this year, but I don't think they can stand up to the Warriors.
No, because you have a coach like Brad Stevens, he literally can do anything. He's that good of a coach.
Steve Kerr is a good coach too. He played with Jordan on the Bulls.
Brad Stevens, they're both amazing coaches, and I'm just really excited to see both of them go head-to-head in the finals.
New topic, your top 5 right now NBA players.
Well, for number 1, by far, LeBron James, absolute beast. Number 2, probably Kevin Durant, beast. Number 3, Kyrie Irving, beast. Number 4 would probably have to be, not sure, Giannis Antetokounmpo, beast. Number 5 would have to be Saquon Barkley. No, I'm joking. It would have to be probably Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson in general. I just like him because he literally scored like 31 points and a half against the Wizards.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on 3, 4, and 5. So LeBron for sure. I don't think for number 1. I don't think we have to say anything about that. He's been totally dominant in his time. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Yes, I also agree with that. Number 3, I'm gonna have to go with James Harden. He's coming off having an MVP. He can shoot threes. He can dribble inside. So that's my number 3. Number 4, I think I would. I don't know yet. I think I really don't know.
All right, good topic.
Number 4, Russell Westbrook. Last year he was 1 game away from averaging a triple-double. Unfortunately, he did have some injuries, but that's pretty serious. A lot of players can't even average a double-double, so I think that he's one of our top 5. At number 5, I think it would have to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's young, he's tall, he can take it inside, he can shoot. I think he's
just a very good all-around
player.
player.
A good all-around player, yeah.
All right, in the age of the Warriors, can teams get by without a big man?
Without a big man.
Without a big man? I think no, because it's the only position that the Warriors struggle in. First, let's just count down the starting lineup. Stephen Curry, point guard, all-star point guard. All-star shooting guard in Klay Thompson. All-star small forward in Kevin Durant. All-star power forward in Draymond Green. An injured DeMarcus Cousins and no JaVale McGee and a Zaza Pachulia who's okay at best. Yes, they have to have a big man, and yes, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's hard for teams to beat the Warriors even with a big man. So yes, I think they definitely need one. Since the Warriors, even without a big man, I think they could still beat teams with big men. But without JaVale McGee, they did do well against the Cavaliers with JaVale McGee, except for that one time he missed a dunk right close to the hoop. But they did lose one of their big men. But yeah, I think teams definitely need someone. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so wrapping up here at ESPN. Well, we've had a fun time. Hope you have had a fun time too. Well, just see ya.
Beckett Simpson.